Why do we chase money we'll never get to fully enjoy? Why do we waste years trying to impress people we don't even like? Why do we follow rules no one ever wrote down in a society that's just as confused as we are? Why do we keep grinding through life, knowing full well that death is waiting at the finish line? Wake up, commute, work, eat, sleep, repeat, day after day, month after month, year after year. Until one morning, you're brushing your teeth, staring into the mirror, and it hits you. What's the point of all this? Maybe you've felt that moment, that weird pause in the middle of your routine, where everything suddenly feels like a loop you can't escape. It's that same feeling that kept French philosopher Albert Camus awake at night. But instead of breaking under the weight of it, he found something surprising, a strange kind of freedom. He figured out how to be happy in a world that doesn't make any sense. Back in the day, people had something we don't. Clear answers. Religion told them there was a plan, that every struggle had a purpose, that pain meant something. Even death wasn't the end. It was just the beginning of something else. Then came science, Darwin, evolution, the Big Bang. And suddenly those comforting stories started to fall apart. Nietzsche saw it coming before most. He said, God is dead. Not because a deity literally died, but because people stopped believing. As science rose, faith collapsed. And with that collapse came a deep emptiness, a loss of meaning. Think about it. When you lose something important, it's not just the thing you miss, it's the security it gave you. That's what happened when society let go of religion. People didn't just lose God, they lost their anchor. Now what? If there's no plan, no grand purpose, then what gives life meaning? For a lot of people, the answer is nothing. That belief has a name, nihilism. It says there's no meaning, no purpose, no point. Just birth, struggle, death. It's a dark outlook, and it leaves a space wide open for anxiety, depression, and despair to take root. But Camus looked at that same chaos and came to a completely different conclusion. He asked, what if meaninglessness isn't a curse? What if it's the very thing that sets us free? Camus noticed something most people miss. We're stuck between two forces. One is our deep human need to find meaning in everything. The other is a silent universe that never answers back. He called this conflict the absurd. Imagine standing in front of the universe, asking big questions like, what's my purpose? What happens after this? And the universe just doesn't reply. No signs, no answers, just quiet. It's frustrating. But Camus didn't see it as the end of the road. He saw something beautiful in it, because once you realize the universe won't hand you a purpose, you're free to create your own. To explain it, he used a powerful myth. You've probably heard of Sisyphus, the guy who was punished by the gods and forced to roll a giant boulder up a mountain forever. Every time he got to the top, the rock rolled back down. No break, no reward. Just endless pushing. Most people look at that and feel pity. Camus looked at it and saw a mirror. That's us. That's life. Jobs, bills, goals, relationships. It's all our version of pushing the rock. Monday, push it up. Tuesday, it rolls back down. Wednesday through Friday, same cycle. Even when we reach our goals, a new job, a better house, more money, we just find a new rock to push. But here's where Camus flips the whole thing. Sisyphus isn't miserable. He's powerful. The key moment isn't when he's straining with the boulder. It's when he walks back down the hill, knowing it's all pointless, knowing the cycle will never end, and choosing to keep going anyway. That, Camus says, is real freedom. When you stop begging for meaning and accept the absurdity, you're no longer chained to expectations. You become the one who decides what matters. And from there, Camus gives us 3 powerful tools to live by. First, drop the what-if game. Stop overthinking every choice. Lost your job? Okay, move on. Failed at something? So what? The universe isn't keeping score. Second, live in rebellion. Every time you smile, laugh, or enjoy life, despite the absurdity, you're rebelling. You're saying, yeah, life's meaningless, but I'm going to love it anyway. Third, adopt the why not mindset. Start a business? Why not? Ask someone out? Why not? Try something bold? Why not? When nothing truly matters, you're free to try everything. Now, You might think that accepting life's meaninglessness would make everything feel heavier, but for Camus, it does the opposite. Because when you stop searching for some grand cosmic purpose, you finally start to notice the little joys, the ones right in front of you. A hot cup of coffee, laughing at a dumb joke with your friends, the warmth of sunlight on your skin. Life becomes lighter when you stop carrying the weight of expectations. Suddenly, getting fired isn't a disaster. It's just a change. Earning less than your friends isn't failure. It's just math. Aging isn't a curse. It's simply living. Camus put it best. You will never be happy if you continue to search for what happiness consists of. He's not saying don't care. He's saying stop chasing shadows. Live now, not for validation, not for approval, just because you can. Take social media. Everyone's flexing. Perfect vacations, success stories, filtered smiles. You know what Camus would say? So what? He'd laugh at how seriously we take these things. Your follower count, your likes, your job title. They're just more rocks we choose to push. And real power comes from looking at all those pressures and saying, so what? Didn't get the promotion? So what? Your startup failed? So what? Someone insulted you online? So what? Each so what is an act of quiet defiance. Each moment you choose joy despite the chaos, you win. Not against other people, but against the absurd itself. And here's what Camus really wanted us to understand. The moment you accept that nothing matters, everything becomes possible. You're free to try, to fail, to start again. Free to create. Free to care about what you choose, not what the world tells you to. People often get Camus wrong. They think embracing meaninglessness means giving up, living wild, not caring. But it's the opposite. He's not telling us to stop caring. He's teaching us how to care better. Let go of what you can't control, the silence of the universe, the randomness of life, the certainty of death, and focus on what's real, what's here, what's now. Some days, you'll win. Some days, the rock will roll all the way back down. Push anyway. Find joy in the effort itself. Make peace with the rhythm, up and down. You're not measured by how far you push your rock. You're measured by how you keep pushing. Camus left us with a powerful idea. One must imagine Sisyphus happy, not because the task makes sense, not because he'll ever succeed, but because he keeps going, knowing all of that. That's strength, that's freedom. Look at your life, your job, your relationships, your routines. They might not mean anything on a cosmic scale, and that's okay, because you get to choose what matters. Every day you wake up, you've got two choices. Let life's absurdity crush you, or use it as fuel. Let it free you to build, to love, to laugh, to live. Not because the universe said so, but because you did. The universe doesn't owe you meaning, and you don't owe the universe anything either. You're free to write your own story, push your own rock, find your own joy, even in a world that makes no sense. And maybe, just maybe, that's the real twist. Happiness doesn't come from finding life's meaning. It comes from embracing the fact that there isn't one, and choosing to live fully anyway. That's how you win the absurd game. That's how you live with joy in a meaningless world.